Hello and very welcome to UK Versity. I would like to start off the induction session today by giving you a course overview, and also during the course overview I'm going to be showing you a demonstration of our learner management system from which you're going to be accessing most of the learning material. And then towards the end, I'm going to also concentrate on sharing with you some key documents from our learner management system, which will give you an insight into the process of assessments and feedback, how it is provided by these tutors at UK Versity, and also tips and tricks in terms of how to set this up so that you can also have access to this system, which is Learner Management System or Moodle, on a smart device or your tablet. I'm glad that you've chosen us as a provider to study your next qualification, and induction session will essentially focus on getting you started so that you can start studying the course with us at a time which is convenient and flexible for you. First things first, I think I'm going to be talking to you about the Level 7 Diploma in Strategic Management and Leadership, which you've joined with us. The awarding body for this particular course is OTHM. There are 6 modules that you're looking at covering in this particular course. These modules will include modules like strategic leadership, strategic management, strategic marketing. It'll have strategic financial decision making. You'll have one module which is going to be primarily research, and the last module that you're going to be end up studying with us related to entrepreneurship. And these 6 modules will all add up to about 120 credits. Now, this particular qualification is not graded, so you have a pass and a not yet achieved. Obviously, when you're looking at studying the qualification with us, this is a 1 academic year qualification, and the qualification is recognized globally by all universities for progression towards an MBA or an MSc in business management. This particular qualification is a flagship qualification that we deliver, and we have a number of learners who are actually studying this qualification currently and progress on to doing various other programs like the MBA top-up after they complete with Chichester University. In this particular qualification, the minimum requirements that we look at, which you have already met because you've joined the program, but just to reiterate, would include things like having a bachelor's degree or a level 6 qualification, and you should have the requisite level of English which is required to study this, because all the work that you're going to submit is going to be primarily assignment based. So this particular qualification is going to be assessed through the route of assignments, and OTHM has a very beautiful way of designing and obviously setting the tasks in the assignment, wherein you are able to not just complete reports, but you're asked to prepare presentations. There are some other activities like creation of flowcharts, mind map, and also other types of assessments which could be utilized primarily within the study of the 6 units. It will be safe to say that the qualification involves no examination. The assessment is primarily done through the assignment route, and the assignments are a basic combination of 3 modes of assessment, one being PowerPoint presentation, second being case study or reports, and the third being write-up or documents, which could be word assignment. As a provider and as a college, we check all work that you submit towards the end before giving final summative feedback for plagiarism, and less than 20% is the allowed limit in terms of similarity when you submit work to us on the assignments. Now, when you study the units with us on a weekly basis, you have the options to attend the live seminars which are done and conducted by our tutors through Join Me, but also will have the opportunity to watch recorded sessions should you miss out on any of these webinars. You can also subscribe and log on to our YouTube channel, which allows you to basically get hold of these lectures, and these lectures primarily are between 35 to 45 minutes in which we are basically covering learning outcomes of each of the units that you study with us. So if I look at a particular unit, say look at strategic marketing, and this is a mandatory unit that you will study. There are 5 learning outcomes in this. This particular module is going to be covered in 5 lectures by the tutor, and then followed by an assignment discussion session, which tends to make you aware of what are the requirements to meet the assessment criteria when you complete the tasks and activities which are set up in the assignment brief. In terms of the course and obviously how it is delivered, this is for us a 26 weeks course. We deliver this across in 6 months, but obviously the pace at which you study in this course is decided by you as a learner. Your registrations are valid for a period of 3 years, but we generally see that learners complete this qualification with us within 6 to 9 months. Now, for those of you who are looking at doing this course on a fast track with us, it is possible to achieve this course within 3 to 6 months as well. But again, in this case, what will happen is that we'll be looking at doing multiple deliveries, and you'll be attending more than 1 session a week in order to compensate for the number of hours required to meet the criteria in terms of guided learning hours and the total qualification time in order to meet the criteria for the qualification. Now, this qualification is going to be taught by 3 different tutors. These tutors are very well experienced in the field and obviously have been teaching these units, modules and the qualifications for the last 10 to 15 years. The tutors which are teaching and delivering this qualification not only just have double masters as a qualification, but also have a teaching qualification at the postgraduate level and have been maintaining their CPD over the years so that they are most up to date in terms of the units being delivered. The three tutors, I would like to briefly introduce them, are going to be Dr. Chi, the tutor is going to be Anjum Satar, and then the third tutor is myself, which is Ramanjeet Singh, and all of us have been teaching and delivering this qualification from 2009. There are a few set of key people that I would highlight which are going to be in touch with you when you study with us at UK Versity, and these people tend to be people like the course coordinator, which is responsible for day-to-day operations, making sure you get the invites, making sure you are getting the material, making sure you are able to progress onto your learner journey. You'll also be in touch with the registrar. She looks after your certifications, registrations and sending out the welcome pack before you start the course with us. And then we also have a colleague of mine who is in quality, who looks after internal verification and makes sure that the grades being awarded or the qualification when they are assessed are being assessed at the right level. And there are judgments which are being made which will ensure that the work that you submit meets the criteria of the awarding organization so that you are able to receive certification. In this particular qualification that you look at, what I would put forward would be 2 or 3 points, which are things that I would suggest that you read before. I would say just like a pre-enrollment section that you read before you start joining the live sessions with us would be things like Harvard referencing. The courses that we deliver, particularly the Level 7 Diploma in Strategic Management, would follow Harvard referencing as a method, for referencing in the qualification and the assignments that you do. So it will be a good read for you to refresh Harvard referencing. We've created some handouts and documents, things like command verbs. We've also created handouts in terms of, how to submit your work, which is normally done on an email address or a mailbox that we have called learnerwork at ukversity.co.uk. And once the final work has been approved, it is also submitted on Moodle, which is then available to the awarding body, for sampling purposes and certification. I would like to give you a brief insight and a demo into the learner management system, and this would give you an idea in terms of how to access the teaching and learning material that you are going to be looking at, studying with us during this course. So I hope with this particular introduction, I've been able to give you some background into the course and the overview of the course in terms of the units, the modules, the duration, the awarding organization, in terms of, how the course is going to be assessed. Now, just to give you a brief demonstration of how you will access the system, this is the course that you're going to be accessing the teaching and learning material from. So the first document that you would want to see would be the course handbook, which has been uploaded here. And in the course handbook, as you can see, when you click on that, what I would ask you to do is read pages 2 to 9, which will give you some background about the objectives of the qualification, the qualification structure, the requirements for progression, if you should you wish to study in the future, and then how the assessment and verification is done. And we also look into something called the recognition to prior learning, and that is something that reading the course handbook for this qualification. So would read pages 3 to 7 just to familiarize yourself qualification and the qualification structure. You can also download the course handbook should you wish to do so by clicking on the download arrow, and that will allow you to download the handbook to your machine locally. The second document that I would want you to look at would be primarily Harvard referencing, and this particular document, when I look at, is the document which will help you refresh what is referencing, how you can reference from books, journals, and published articles and electronic resources. And I would generally suggest that it's a good read for you to look at when you're looking at doing a bit of pre-reading before starting and joining the live sessions. There are some other helpful documents that we've also uploaded here, things like our quality policies, should you need to refer to any of them, things like your learner agreement, safeguarding policy, plagiarism and malpractice, how to make a complaint. Some of these policies are also provided here in the qualities folder. There are some other useful documents, things like the assignment front cover sheet, and this particular document is going to be used as a template. So when you click on that, it normally downloads to your local machine, and then once you open it, you are able to then pre-fill it and then use it and send it to us electronically as a front cover sheet for all the assignments. So just to briefly show you how it looks like, it's opening up in the background. And then there are units which are laid out, and these are the units which you're going to be studying with us, things like strategic management, strategic leadership, you have strategic human resource management, you have research methods, you have financial management, and strategic marketing. Now, in the layout of these units, what we've done primarily is just to explain very briefly one of them. The first document that you see would be unit specification, which the tutor actually uses to teach and deliver the learning outcome in every session. This is followed by at least one recommended ebook. Now, what we've done is, as a provider, we've provided ebooks for all the units that you're going to be studying with us. So over the years, we've chosen the one ebook which covers that particular unit and its content in greater details, and that has also been uploaded into this system, so that when you're looking at doing independent research, looking at researching a particular topic and want to do elaborate reading, you can actually make use of the textbook which has been provided, and that covers all the content of that particular unit. This is going to be followed by learning outcome presentations. So if you look at lesson 1, will be actually corresponding to learning outcome 1, and if you look at learning outcome 2, it corresponds to learning outcome 2. And should you wish to watch the recorded lectures, what then you're going to do is click on the recordings like LO1, and here the recording would actually start to play on the cloud, and this will be a full audio video recorded lecture which allows you to watch the tutors actually teaching and delivering, and that is something that you can look at from the system. So in the layout of the learner management system, we provided you a book, presentations for all the learning outcomes, and towards the end there is also something called the assignment discussion presentation and the assignment brief, which primarily tells you what activities have to be completed in order to achieve that particular unit. So in this case, if I look at just the first assignment of this unit, it is basically asking you to do a presentation for task 1. It is asking you to prepare an essay or a report for task 2, and for task 3 it is asking you to write a reflective essay. So as you can see, it has been neatly broken down into 3 different activities covering multiple assessment criteria, and we are ensuring that you are not going to write pages and pages of work, but the total word limit for this assignment is going to be in the region of about 3,500 to 4,000 words. So if you see, the reflective essay is about 600 words, the essay report is 2,500, and then the PowerPoint presentation with speaker notes is about 400. So about 3,500 to 4,000 words is what you're looking at writing, and that is how the layout of all the units are going to be when you study the course with us. This was the assignment front cover sheet, which you have to fill and provide with all the assignments that you are submitting. So it will have your name, registration number, you're studying with UK Versity, qualification number, unit reference, title, and obviously word count and the date of submission. So these documents which are required for you to fill and use again and again have been provided as Word documents, and those are templates that you can use from time to time. So the system is quite simple enough. It's plug and play. What you see is what you get, and I would encourage you to log in once you receive your email, once you receive an email from us with your username and password. I would encourage you to log into this system and go through just this pre-course material, which is looking at the introduction onwards to up till quality policies, to familiarize yourself with the system and in terms of the basic contents of the course. And then when the live delivery starts, you'll start to receive join me invites from us, and when you click on them, you should be able to join some of the live sessions. So I hope this has given you an insight into the pre-enrollment and the induction session with UK Versity on one of the courses, which is the Level 7 Diploma in Strategic Management and Leadership, and I look forward to obviously talking to you and teaching you in the subsequent weeks. Thank you.